Welcome to Atris. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, we will definitely keep on this one. We've got Brainstorm, we've got a Fetch Land, we got Frantic Search, Worn Power Stone, and Sad Robot. Definitely. I love this opening hand. It's going to be very nice. Let's go and get Atris pop back up and make Atris normal size. There we go. And let's go and lead off with Island, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. We're playing Atris, Oracle of Half-Truths, Tessarret's Whisperer, Master Whisperer, whatever you want to call it. Menace, whenever Atris Oracle enters the battlefield, a target opponent looks at the top 3 cards of your library, separates those into 2 piles, a face-down pile and a face-up pile, and then we get to take one of them. So, pretty cool. Let's go and grab, let's go for a Brainstorm really quick, and that's going to, ooh, yes, this is good. So what are we going to put back on top? That's going to be 1, 2, 3. I kind of do actually like Karn's Bastion in this particular scenario. So let's put... I think we're actually okay with all of this. So let's put Frantic Search back on top, and then let's put Watery Grave back on top. Yeah, that'll be good. All right, so we're going to draw into Watery Grave. In fact, let's go and shock in Watery Grave. That way we can go for Arcane Signet. I think that's... we could go for Karn. Yeah, Karn's Bastion would just actually be the better line of play. So let's go Arcane Signet for 1 blue, and then anything else. We're going to go and pass the turn over our opponent. But yes, look at the... enters the battlefield, grab the top 3 face-up, face-down pile. Pretty much always going to be taking whatever pile has the most cards in it. That's... because 2 is always better than 1. So, unless your opponent wants to make a 0 face-down pile and a 3 face-up pile, then that would be pretty good. Playing against Keranos, God of Storms. They've got some beautiful lands to tag along with that Keranos commander. It looks pretty good. And I'll cover Keranos in just a second. So we're going to draw into that Frantic Search, which will be very nice. And so we don't know what's on top of our... Do we still just want to ramp? I think we just ramp out on this. Yeah, I kind of like this. So let's do this. So let's go Watery Grave. We're going to shock this in. Let's go for Sad Robot. And let's see if, if they've got counter magic, they may want to counter this. If not, then we just get a free land on the battlefield. So that'll be pretty good. Okay, so they're going to float 2 mana in response to that. So it's going to be Sad Robot entering the battlefield. Let's go, yes, definitely use that ability. Let's grab ourselves, yeah, pretty much this is mainly blue deck. So black is going to be a splash. And then we will pass the turn back over there to them. Playing against Keranos, God of Storms. Indestructible Devotion 7 turns into a creature. Then whenever you draw, reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns. Whenever you reveal a land card this way, draw a card. Whenever you reveal a non-land card this way, Keranos deals 3 damage to any target. And that reminds me, I played against Keranos the other day. If you want to look at it, I think it came in last week. I played against Keranos last week. But, yeah, we just got completely owned by this, this Keranos kind of like sacrificed. I mean, it was a very wild deck. So let's go and swing in for 2. Let's get in for 2 damage. Knock our opponent down to 28. And then we'll figure out what we need to do on the back end. Also, if you hear any cooing or any sort of little noises, I have little baby Loretta right next to me in a little baby carrier. So it's my shift in the morning, and I just fed her. And she actually, we'll jump into Loretta talk here in a second. So let's do this. I think what we want to do is, especially with an open Frantic Search, let's go for 1 Power Stone. 3. That's going to enter the battlefield, and that still keeps us open on Arcane Denial. Yeah, I like that. And we'll have Dark Slick Shores enter the battlefield tap. So let's just do that. So let's just go and pass the turn. That way, if our opponent does tap out for Keranos, we still have a way to kind of deal with Keranos. But yeah, my morning shift is in the morning with baby Loretta. And so she turned 2 months old the other day, which is very cool. And she's being very nice, and she's been a very good baby so far. I mean, I cannot, there's a lot of times where she goes to bed around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and she'll be getting up around 5 or 6, and sleeping through the night, which is a very good feeling. To kind of have a normal sleep schedule with the 2-month-old, that's something that was, the most common thing that people told us when we were having a baby was, hey, get used to not having any more sleep. I'm like, okay. But thankfully she is taken after me. Gain control of target creature? Sure. Alright, so we got a Sad Robot. He's no longer sad, he is angry. And so, in fact, so mad that Sad Robot joined our side of the battlefield. Bless you, baby. A little baby sneeze right there. Alright, it's going to put us down to 26. And then, but yeah, so basically, long story short, I do the morning shift. My wife does kind of the 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock shift. Oh, they've got high market. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Okay. I see a very good line of play that, especially if you don't have much going on and your opponent's going to be able to go for that, then hey, very good. I see that line of play makes a lot more sense now. So, but thankfully we're in a pretty good spot with how much mana we've got. So we'll see what we rip into for the turn. Ooh, then mana drain. So let's do this. So let's have Flooded Strand, and I think, yeah, we're going to crack Flooded Strand. Let's grab ourselves Underground Sea. That way it's going to enter our opponent's completely tapped out. So we got some stuff that we want to do. So let's go Frantic Search. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. We're going to be able to draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. At this point, we've got 2 counter spells, so we can probably get rid of one of them, and especially something like Mana Drain. That's really going to help us out, and especially not having to worry about, skittering. In fact, I think I'd rather hold on to both counter spells. So let's get rid of Sunken Hollow, and we'll get rid of Skittering Surveyor. Let's untap these 3 lands. Let's go for Atris. That's going to be 1, 2, and I think that's how you say it. And if I kind of waver back and forth on how you say the name, somebody left a comment saying how it could be done, and then I forgot. So how you could say it. So let's have the end of the battlefield trigger. See, our opponent wants to split these piles up. More than likely, like I mentioned, we're going to be taking the pile of 2, unless there's just like a Tessarret just sitting there. Then we will grab Tessarret because we're slowly getting towards those artifacts. So let's see how they split this up. Okay, so we're going to see Hedron Archive. Yeah, and at this point, I mean, we're just going to choose pile 2, even if it's 2 lands. It's better than no lands. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. So let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders. If you want to be one of the whisperers for Atris, or Tris, head on over to MTGOTraders. We need some people to lay their ears low to the ground and kind of keep them open for Tessarret so we can figure out what people are doing and potentially get some Tessarret scheming. But yes, check them out. Also, shout out to ingaming.com/jolt. You can get 10% off anything off the website. So if you haven't treated yourself in a long time, make sure that you do. You can click on the link down in the description below to apply that coupon. And last but not least, I started a Patreon. So if you'd like to contribute to the Patreon, get your name in the credits of my videos, or if you get your hands on some of these sweet tokens, if you're a patron of my Patreon, you'll be automatically entered into the token giveaway each month. Hey, there's a link down in the description below. And of course, if you support content like this, it makes sure it sticks around. So thank you very much if you already do. Let's go ahead and go. Let's go Arcane Denial. I kind of like this because we want to cash in it. We just want to get something to get our board state flowing at this point right now. And so we're going to go for Arcane Denial. That still leaves us open on Mana Drain. I know that gives our opponent 2 extra mana, but we've got a counter spell to kind of stop any sort of extra value that they may cast. And so I kind of like going for this. Our opponent's going to exile Greater. Where are you, buddy? There we are. No. We got all the different zones popped up. Okay, so they're going to exile Greater Gorgodon, and then we'll see what we rip into. So we're at least going to get an extra card draw for that Arcane Denial. But yeah, if you're keeping score at home, it's officially free time. Let's have some fun. I'll continue my Loretta talk here in a second as she kicks me at their leg. So, all right, so we've got the opponent's going to cash in 2, and also if we rip into Tessarret. That's exactly what we wanted to see. If I seem a little bit distant with commentary, it's the first time I'm recording with her right next to me in her little baby carrier, so that is why. Just giving you a heads up. So I guess Urborg didn't really matter. Opponent doesn't really need it. Let's go for Tessarret. That's going to be black, double blue, and then tap down 2 for Worn Power Stone. And then we've got some Atris triggers to start swinging in, get some good commander damage going. So we're going to have Tessarret come down. That's going to be the +1. Yeah, we're going to go +1 because we just want to get some artifacts going. I think that'd be, oh yes, I know, baby. Tessarret's such a good thing. Let's grab Seat, and then we'll put those on the bottom in any order, and then anything else. Let's go and swing it for 3. There we go. It's going to knock our opponent down to 24, and that will put us on the board for some commander damage. Just 6 more turns. And we've got a commander damage win. So there we go, swinging in for 3, and then we will pass the turn, leaving open a Mana Drain, which will be very nice. And then also we can go for Karn's Bastion to proliferate, which will be good. So there we go. Sorry about that. I was just like, no, for some reason I was thinking we had to proliferate as a sorcery speed, but we can do that on our opponent's turn. And I think, yeah, well, actually, no, we'll be down 1 mana if we end up going Mana Drain. So unless there's something that we just absolutely need to grab, that will be pretty good. So, but yeah, with Loretta, she's been very good so far. Really kind of gotten the hang of taking care of a baby. We had her 2-month checkup this week, actually this past Monday, and so it was nice. She's very good. She doesn't really cry a bunch. I mean, there's just when it dies, deals 5 damage to each creature with flying. Is that something that we just need to Mana Drain? Yeah, I think so. I mean, here's the deal. We're just getting rid of a flying threat in the air at this point right now. So yeah, I think we're okay with that because and then that kind of puts us in a weird spot with Tessarret. We want to keep going for these Tessarret activations and then hopefully just find another source of card draw. That's kind of what we're going for. Or if we can run into something like Conjurer's Closet, a flicker effect, we just need something that's going to get our board state flowing. So we're going to have that 6 mana enter the battlefield, or not enter the battlefield, but go into our mana pool. And yeah, I think we just go for the +1. I think that sounds pretty good. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to go +1. Executioner's Capsule. That'll be good. We'll be able to have that enter the battlefield. Oh, we whiffed on a Thassa. That's a bummer. Let's have Executioner's Capsule come down. Let's go for Thirst for Knowledge. And actually, just to kind of reduce that just a little bit, let's go for Catacombs. Let's go and crack Catacombs. And we'll go for Fetid Pools, which will enter the battlefield. Actually, we'll just grab a Swamp. That way we know for sure we're good on some mana. Use that 2 colorless mana to go for Thirst for Knowledge. Oh, and then Tessarret. We're going to discard 2 cards, definitely. Let's get rid of... Oh, bummer. We'll get rid of Misty. And either way, these are artifacts, so I guess we'll just get rid of Seed. That way we're okay. Okay, then let's go for Soul Ring with that last colorless mana. Let's go for Tessarret. Oh, yes, this is turning out very good. We'll tap down for an extra blue mana. We're going to get these Tessarret activations going. Draw cards. We definitely have the necessary art. Oh, and then Fabricate. Yeah, our opponent's shield's down right now, so we need to do as much stuff as possible. So we're going to end up going for Fabricate, and we're going to grab Lattice. Yeah, that's going to be good. So let's grab Lattice, because if we end up grabbing Lattice, there we go. That's going to be, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's going to be us completely tapping out. That's going to make these Tessarret activations a lot easier. Now, we are completely open to Cyclonic Rift. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but you can see how we busted that turn wide open. Let's go and push in for 3. That's going to knock our opponent down to 6 total commander damage, and then knock them down to 21. Yes, I know, Loretta. We're going to try to get that Tessarret activation. She's cheering me on right now. But yeah, things are going good. You know, she's been a very good baby so far. Very thankful for that. And of course, obviously, it's my child, and I think she's very cute. But it's fun so far. You know, my wife and I, we've been together for a very long time. In fact, we're coming up on 10 years of being married this upcoming April. And so we both took our time, you know, before having kids. Like my wife, she's into running, so she started with the Couch to 5K program. That's where you just go from like literally the couch to a 5K, and you train for it. She went all the way up to a marathon, to a half Ironman, and so that's kind of, running has always been her hobby, and obviously my channel has been my hobby. So we've both had time to kind of go deep into our little hobbies and have fun with that. And we both got to the point where we're like, okay, I think we're ready for kids. We've both, you know, not necessarily achieved greatness or however you want to say it, but we've spent enough time with the hobby to where we're established with it, and we can still learn how to balance family life with our hobbies, and that's what we do now. So, and you know, just like Loretta, she likes the channel. She's being a very good baby right now, so allowing me to just sit here and record because it's been a good game so far. We've got the Tessarret activation for the -4. We can still even proliferate on Tessarret, so if we go -4, loses X life, you gain X life, which X is twice the number of artifacts you control. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's going to be lethal. Oh, no. Oh, um, oh, goodness. Yep, Loretta, this is bad. All right, so we're gonna click OK. I don't. Do they get activations this turn? I don't know how that works. All right, they're gonna go for the Tessarret, and I think if they end up going for the -4, that's gonna be lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we go down to 2. Okay. Oh no, at least we've got Ghostly Flicker. We can exile 2 artifacts or creatures. There's Tessarret, Master of Metal, that we could rip into. That might help us out. Oh, that was that was not good. Uh-oh. Okay, so how do we want to set this up? I guess we just straight up just go for a Ghostly Flicker just to see what's kind of going on. So we're gonna exile. Yeah, let's just tap down Soul Ring, and then we'll go blue. Let's go Ghostly Flicker. We're going to exile, and actually, let's set this up correctly. It's going to make sure that our commander goes to the exile zone, not the command zone. So let's go Ghostly Flicker. We're going to exile Atris and then exile Soul Ring. And that was a beautiful play by our opponent. I mean, this is what makes Commander fun, is that I need to start running mass manipulation in my decks, my commander decks, because that is such a good thing. All right, so we've got the Atris trigger. At this point, unless the face-up pile, I doubt they're going to give us Tessarret. We're probably going to take the face-down pile. But the only good thing is, with them going for the -4, they're going to be able to cash in card. The game's not over yet. We do run into the position of, I guess we just choose pile 2? Okay, Witching Well's an artifact. We get to scry. So let's do that. I mean, because we've got a little bit of time. If they go Keranos, that may not be that good, but at least we're going to have to enter the battlefield, scry 2, a little scurry, a little bit of fever. But at least our opponent did end up showing us off what is capable of our deck on their side of the battlefield, which is not your keeping score. That's not really where you want it to happen. So we've got that. Both of those, they don't win us the game. We can draw 2 cards for 3 mana, so we can draw into both of them, but let's go and put Vincer on the... Well, actually, we can Vincer for Tessarret. I think that's good. We can Vincer for Tessarret. So let's put Panharmonicon on the bottom. Let's put Vincer on top of our library. Let's draw into Vincer. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. We might have enough mana for this. We'll see. And then we tap down for 1 more mana. We're going to draw 2 cards. Let's go and go Vincer. And we do draw into Gonti, which is nice. That lifelink may make it different. No, excuse me. Gonti didn't. What am I talking about? All right, so there we go. It's going to be 1 blue mana. So we're not going to have enough for Tessarret, but at least next turn we can go for the Tessarret activation. All right, so as Vincer enters the battlefield, return target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. So we're going to go for Tessarret. That's going to be good. Bring Tessarret back to the hand. And then we haven't, and actually we can do this. So we can go Tessarret. We can go land drop for the turn. I know, baby, we're kind of making a comeback, I think. All right, let's see, let's click on these. Okay, and then if we end up going Tessarret, now they might have some count. Okay, so we go Tessarret, we're gonna go for the +1. Look at the top 5 cards of our library. Boy, that worked out perfectly. All right, so we're going to be able to go Tessarret. I guess we'll just grab Talisman because that'll be an extra artifact. Put those on the bottom in any order. And then anything else past the turn over our opponent. So, game's not over. If they have direct damage, the game is definitely over. If they tap out for Keranos, that has to be an upkeep trigger. So by the time that happens, we should be good. Now, let's say that they do greater... Gorgodon does not have trample, so we can at least still block that. That's going to be okay, even if they sack their entire board out. Because if we go Tessarret next turn, even if they swing in Thopter, we go for the Karn's Proliferate trigger. And then that should be enough for us to go for the -4. So we'll see. I know, baby. We're going to see if we can get it. But yeah, she's been sitting here the whole time. She's been very good. She wants to see a Tessarret activation. And so that's what we're trying to see happen. Unless our opponent has a archetype of imagination. Creatures you control have flying. They lose. Can't have or gain flying. Okay. If that's what they're tapping out for. We can make that work. We'll see if they end up sending the Thopter at Tessarret. And I think this will be good. I mean, yeah, because the next turn we go for the Proliferate that puts it at 4. We go for the -4. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We've got 17 artifact permanents on the battlefield. 17 times 2 is going to be 34. So... I guess so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 mana to work with as far as getting that count back up. Because if we go Gonti, if we go Talisman, that's going to be 19. Let's see, 19 times 2. That's going to be right at 38. So we're going to have to hopefully get lucky with a few extra artifacts. But then getting to 43, that really did kind of mess us up. The only good thing is that by us doing this, gaining a ton of life, okay, we lose trample, but the main thing is we're going to gain a ton of life, and then kind of get our opponent's total life, get their life total down low. That's just basically going to buy us some extra time, which is mainly what we're looking for. Okay, so we're back in this one, especially with them tapping out. That's going to keep us open on a Tessarret activation. We've got a Thopter that's Oh, they're swinging in at us. I'll take that. All right, it's going to keep Tessarret active to where we can actually proliferate and not have to worry about that proliferate. So it's going to put us down to 1. And then with the Executioner's Capsule, destroy target non-black creature. So we can deal with one of these creatures over there, which is going to be pretty good for us. So let's see what we draw into for the turn. We're still going to be able to proliferate and keep Tessarret around, which is pretty much going to be important. Okay, so we've got... Yeah, because if we end up going Tessarret and we go for that's going to be 4 mana for Karn's Bastion. We go for proliferate, and then they're going to have... Let's see. Bless you, baby. Let's see. They're going to have trample. Creatures you control have trample. So, I mean, I guess we can technically... Yeah, they're going to have flying. It's going to be hard for us to stop them there. So I think we might as well just not go for Tessarret. So let's deploy some of these artifacts out. That's going to be Talisman. Let's make the land drop for the turn. And let's go Gonti. Yeah, because even if we do keep Tessarret around, they're still going to be able to grab it in some form or fashion. So let's go for more Power Stone, tap that down. Yeah, because we're just looking at Tessarret for 1. So, all right, so we're going to have a Gonti trigger. Let's go ahead and take, a Braid, destroy target artifact. Yeah, let's grab that bad boy, because that's going to allow us to get rid of Tessarret. So let's grab a Braid. And that's going to be out of the exile zone. Let's go ahead and go for a Braid, destroy target artifact. That's going to get rid of their card draw source. Oh, look at that. That's going to be colorless. And then we're going to spin that as red. And then we're going to tap down a Darksteel Citadel as 1 colorless, destroy Tessarret. Let's go for the Tessarret activation. Now, if we want to, we can still end up proliferating. And if we pop the archetype of imagination, that's going to get rid of the flying effect. But either way, they're still going to have the Thopter to go for that. So let's go for the -4. Target player is going to lose that life. All right, we go to 39. They go to 5. Let's go and go for an Impulse. And then Tessarret, then Murderous Rider. I think that's going to be the best bet, because that's going to allow us to... Oh, yeah, that's going to be perfect. So we grab Murderous Rider. Oh, yes. Put those on the bottom in any order. Let's make sure that we're casting the Swift in part. Destroy Archetype. And then let's go for Executioner's Capsule on Archetype. Oh, my goodness. This is just absolutely perfect. I know, baby. Isn't that cool? All right, that's going to allow us to swing it with Venser and Atris. Oh, this is beautiful. Exactly just enough. Swinging it for 5. This will knock our opponent down to 0. There we go. That should be enough. Our opponent, I think they said how when I destroyed their Tessarret. And basically, if they see this video, Lattice is going to turn everything into an artifact. So there we go. Opponent mass manipulated us, took everything out of our library. Not a library, but took a Tessarret and then blew us up, used our own advantage. But we were able to close that game out. So definitely an interesting Keranos build from our opponent, and that felt pretty good. And of course, baby Loretta is super happy with the Tessarret activation like that. She's going to sleep really good tonight. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, you enjoyed the Loretta talk, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.